Howdy y'all, and welcome back to SC Traditions. My name is Carson Umbarger, and we are going after some big old fat brim. I've only been to this pond one time in my life, and I caught a few good bass in it, but I didn't go brim fishing at all. We're about to see though if this pond holds some freaking big brim. That is yet to be seen, but we are using the most simple setup known to man here. It is a nice little ultralight spinning rod, bobber, couple weights, and a tiny little J-hook with some good old red worms, you know? How many of y'all grew up fishing just like that? That's what it's all about if you ask me. Side note, we upgraded the camera equipment to a brand spanking new GoPro. Took me 2 months to get it. Long story. I can share it later if you want it. You don't want it, trust me. But then I forgot the chest cam mount, so we can't actually use the GoPro right now. That might be later in the video. That might be in another video. Don't know. Enough for me jibber jabbering though. Let's get out there on the water, see what we can do. I'm hungry for some fried brim. Oh, we're getting hit, we're getting hit. Got something. Well, he's nothing to write home about, but he's something. Now, you know they say that's bad luck when you catch something on the first cast. You would be catfish bait if I wanted to. Same spot, same result. That's all we can hope for. There we go. That's a good one, maybe. Nope, nope, nope. He was pulling my leg. He fought a little harder than he looked. These are about the most docile brim I've ever run into. So let me just show you what we're working with here. This is not the size that we want to catch, but this is what's called a bluegill. You'll hear me colloquially refer to them as a brim, sunfish, whatever you want to call them, panfish. That is kind of the broad overarching term around this part of the country. Everything's a brim, even a crappie's sometimes a brim depending on where you are. But specifically, this is a bluegill, and the way that you can tell is right under his chin, on his gills, is a fluorescent silvery blue. Hence, bluegill, most popular game fish in the entire U.S. And this poor worm here wants to be put out of his misery already because he's already caught 2 fish. He's nothing but a snub now. But we're going to see if he can go one more round. I'm going to throw a little deeper to see if we can get onto something just a hair bigger, not hanging up in the weeds. So you see all these shallow weeds? We're throwing right alongside them, trying to get stuff that's kind of living under the weeds before it comes out. That's one. Missed him. Got him. Woohoo! That's fighting big. What is that? It looks like a catfish. Alright, hold on. Hold on. Give me a minute. Hope your hook's tied good. Really don't want to step down in the water, but I will. Oh, no.
He's right there.
I don't know if he still is. Wish you had a net.
See him right there?
Yeah, that's the weed.
What is it?
No way, he is down there. Hold on. The things you do for a fish. Hold on.
If you get that cord, get it too.
I'm gonna try. The things you do for a fish. Oh, that's muddy.
Be careful now.
Oh, snot. I don't know how it gets deeper after that, so I don't want to step out. Let me see if I can find something I can grab it. Well, I was hoping since he was right there, I could just grab the line and pull him through, but It's okay. We'll try and get another one. We can catch a bigger one. Well, we are progressively moving up the size chain. Once again, still moving up, but not what we want to see. I tell you what, if I was going for catfish bait, I'd have a mess of cut bait and whole bluegill. Splash. All right, so all I'm doing with this tactic is we've got a big long stretch of pondweed that flows all the way down the side of this pond. I'm taking my cork, I'm taking my worm, and I'm just throwing a foot or two outside of that pondweed. And the idea is that a brim or a small bass or something like that that is hiding up in these weeds is gonna swim out of the weeds, grab the worm, and try and get back to the weeds. We're gonna snatch him, obviously, before he does so. It's worked thus far for catfish bait. The problem is we ain't going for catfish bait. We're going for big old hand-sized Boone and Crockett bluegill. There he is. Oh, now that one's bigger. That one's an eating size. There we go. We got dinner. So here we go. Here's time for some fish facts from Carson. So we've got a nice mature bluegill here. He's not as big as they come, but he's definitely not a small one. He is eating size. So as you can see, they still retain a lot of that blue color, just a little less shiny. In fact, as a whole, the fish in general is a little less shiny. A lot of brim or fish in general, when they're little, are really reflective, really bright, kind of makes them look bigger in the water than they actually are. When they get this big, that's less of an issue. But you can still see that they keep a lot of that beautiful coloration. We've got dark green, even almost black on top, orange belly underneath, blue coloration, big black ears, and even a little bit of purple. You can kind of see it on both sides, but I can smell the grease already. That's later in the video. Okay, so it's the next day, and you know how it is when you start throwing fresh fish out there on the table. Everybody wants to come over and eat some up. So we got some house archeries here. Luckily, we had a bunch of fish in the freezer, so we got that going. Let's get this. Now we got a healthy mix of whole brim, fillets, all kind of stuff, crappie bass, whatever you want, whole collection of stuff. Super simple though how we're gonna do this here. All right, so we got ourselves a little bluegill here. We got ourselves a brush. We're just gonna lightly coat him in some mustard all around. I know what you're saying. I don't like mustard, but you know what? That's okay, you ain't gonna taste the mustard. You ever had barbecue? A lot of that barbecue has mustard as a base. And then just put him in the fish batter. Same with this one. Another nice bluegill. Scales off, guts out, head off. Other than that, nice bone in. If you have never had fish this way, you're missing out, and you got to get on this bag. Put it in there. Let's see if we can find another small one in here. There's another perch. Baste him up. Boom. Take the slib. How they look. Look at that. That is perfect. Plop them down in there. All right, so we've got a hot cast iron full of some nice hot oil. It's important though that you have your oil not terribly hot because you will burn that oil, and if you burn the oil, it's gonna make the fish taste all nasty. Now also, as you can see, I am doing it outside. Fried fish is a special kind of smell. To me, it's a lovely smell. To most people, it's a nasty smell that they don't want inside their house. Luckily today's not super hot. They are calling for a little bit of rain, so we're gonna try and wrap it up quick, but it does not take long for these suckers to fry up. And let me just tell you, I test tasted one and it tasted amazing.